Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about Legion Remix, and I will be talking in particular about what are, in my opinion, some of the biggest missed opportunities with this new Remix event. And here, mainly, I'm gonna focus on all the different rewards that could have been added, and especially that I think should have been added to this event. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna start with is not gonna be a surprise to any of you, and that's of course the different class challenge weapon appearances from the Legion Mage Tower. So again, these are all these different unique appearances that you were able to unlock during Legion, and all of them have been completely gone from the game since the end of Legion. So here, what I think personally, and that's what I've said since the beginning, they should have done, instead of re-adding all these different weapons right here, they should have simply added one new color for each of these different appearances. So like that, the players who had the original ones that they got during Legion still have their unique colors and everything, but this model is something that players can get through Remix just with a different color. So a really good example, for instance, is the Death Knight weapon. So here, as you can see, we have these 4 different tints that were available during Legion. And now, for instance, we could have this 5th tint that would be only from Legion Remix, that would be completely new. And even though it's using the same model, people would definitely know that this is the remix version and not one of these original ones that have been removed from the game from Legion. So again, I think this is personally really what they should have done. I think everyone would have been happy. Maybe a few people will have complained that it's making these weapons not as unique, but overall, I feel like most people would be fine with that. And especially, I'm not exactly sure why they decided not to do that, knowing that they did basically exactly the same thing with the different challenge mode mounts from Mr. Panera with Mr. Panera Remix. So here, as you can see, during Mr. Panera, you were able to get these different Phoenix mounts, and these were completely unique. You don't have any other similar models in the game. And for some reason, with Mr. Panera Remix, they decided to add a new version of this mount, which again is the exact same model, just a new color. And that's something that everyone was happy with and, okay with. Even players who already have these mounts from Mr. Panera. So again, I think this was something that worked really well, and I'm still not exactly sure why they decided not to do that with the different Mage Tower appearances. Now, another missed opportunity, in my opinion, is this mount right here. I really think that we could have had a recolored version of some of the different raid mounts, but not just the Shackled Urzo. I think this one would have been absolutely awesome. So as you can see here, this is a fan-made edit, but this is something that could work really well, and I'm pretty sure a lot of players would love to get a mount like this one. So overall, I just feel like we could have had more interesting recolors of some of the existing mounts from Remix. Then there's also this one right here. So this is one of these little Legion ship that some of these different Draenays are riding in Argus, and I think it could have been a really cool mount to get as well. So again, just another missed opportunity because it would have been really fun to have that. Another category of mounts that I really think we could have gotten during this remix event are these different dragons right here. So of course we are getting the Eagle, which I think is really cool, but we have these other dragon models that are super cool and super unique, especially the Dragons of Nightmare. And personally, I think it would have been really awesome if we could have got one of these mounts through the raid or through any other sources during the remix event. Just to show you, that's what, for instance, this mount or this model looks like. And overall, I'm a big fan, and it is especially very unique. We don't really have any mounts like this one. So yeah, that's something that could have been also really good. I know that some people are speculating that some of these mounts might become the new Legion meta achievement mount for the expansion, similar, for instance, to the ones we got with Shadowlands, with Dragonflight. But personally, I'm not exactly sure. So if that's not the case, then it means that we probably will never have this as a mount in the game. Another one that, in my opinion, could have been a good mount to bring back, and especially to bring back a recolored version of the mount, is the Mage-Bound Spelltome from the Mage Tower. So this is a mount you can still get right now. It's a little bit challenging, I would say, to get this mount, and that's why I don't think they should just add this model to the game, because it needs to remain a little bit unique. But it could have been cool to have maybe like a Fel version or something like that, or just a different version that you would have been able to unlock when doing some of the more challenging content in the remix event. Again, I do think that could have been a really cool thing as well. And then there's still a lot of unused appearances for all the different weapons that have not been added to the remix event yet. So for instance, you have all these like new versions of these assault weapons, which I think look really, really cool, especially because we don't have a lot of these weapons in the game. You then have even more of these like unused tints for all these different items. So again, so far, these haven't been part of everything that has been communicated by Blizzard, but maybe these will drop from random sources, and that's why they're not part of everything that has been data mined so far. There's also a few of these different pre-patch weapons that could have been added. And there is also this sword personally that I really love, the Fallen Avatar sword. So that would have been a nice inclusion as well. And there's just a bunch of other of these different Argus weapons and also some of these vehicle weapons. And here, one interesting thing to note is that in the latest build of Legion Remix, they did add these two weapons right here. So you will be able to get these ones. But these other ones, we don't have really any information about them. So there are more of these different staffs that are available as well. So who knows, maybe, hopefully, at some point, we will also be able to get some of them. That would be really, really nice. And finally, another thing that I do think we could have had as a recolored set are the ones from Argus. So you have the plate version, which is this one right here, and then you have the cloth version. These sets are really, really unique. They are really nice, and they're sets that people are still farming right now. And so you will be able to buy these super easily with your different bronze during the Legion Remix event. But I was hoping that we would have some different colors available for these different sets, because I do think it would look super good. Especially, for instance, this one, I can imagine being it in red. I think this would be absolutely amazing. But again, sadly, that's not the case. And it probably means that we will never really be able to get some recolored version of these really cool Argus sets. So these are really some of the main things that, in my opinion, I think we should have gotten with Legion Remix, especially again the recolored versions of the different challenge mode appearances from the Mage Tower. I think everyone would have been super, super happy with that. But again, for some reasons, Blizzard decided not to do it, even though they did the same with Mist Opener Remix. So let me know in the comments what you think about all of that, and if you're happy or not with the rewards we are going to get, because we're still getting a lot of really cool rewards. And also let me know if there is anything that I didn't mention in this list but that you feel like should have been added as well to the loot table. Because again, I really do feel like there's a lot of opportunities with these different remix events. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great day. Bye.